Legislative Report will return in a moment. Welcome back to Legislative Report. My guest is Karen Wormack. And Karen, you keep impressing me every year. You have 2 new books, and I know you're working on a 3rd. And the Adventures of Prissy and Missy, The Sidewalk Affair, and then The Adventures of Prissy and Missy Travel Aboard, right? And the next one is going to be The Adventures of Prissy and Missy Beyond Earth, Sky to Mars.
Yes, Senator Scavello. Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Why don't we talk about first, because some of the folks might not have seen it, what made you write the books, and let's talk about all 3, if you don't mind. Okay, let's start with the first one, the Sidewalk Affair. What got you, and where did Prissy and Missy come from? How did you come up with the name?
Well, The Adventures of Prissy and Missy, Sleepwalk Affair, have been with me for a long time, actually. Prissy and Missy are multicultural cat twin sisters, and their lives are filled with curiosity, education, inspiration. People have said from time to time that Prissy and Missy are just like me, and that rings truth. It certainly does, because I wrote my first poem in the 2nd grade, being educated in Washington, D.C., the Washington, D.C. public school system. And in the 2nd grade, I wrote my first poem. That's when I fell in love with poetry. And I have written since then. The names Prissy and Missy have always been in my imagination. My mother, she's gone on now, Mommy, love you. But when I was a little prim and proper, my mother used to call me Prissy. and if I acted a little too sassy, I was Missy.
Oh, wow. Very good.
But when Mom was in a good mood, she would refer to me as Sis, or often, of course, she would call me Karen. But Prissy and Missy stayed with me, and my first book of poetry, A Voice Crying in the Wilderness, included The Adventures of Prissy and Missy Shopping Spree. And I decided to write at least 10 adventures, which I did. And the 3rd book, which will be published, The Adventures of Prissy and Missy Beyond Earth, Sky to Mars, is actually my 11th manuscript, but we're going to publish it third.
Third publishing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I have to apologize. I don't know what made me say Sidewalk Affair, Sleepwalk Affair.
Oh, yes, quite all right,
but to correct it. So the next one was Travel Aboard.
Yes, and in The Adventures of Prissy and Missy Travel Abroad, Prissy and Missy visit 5 European countries, including France, Spain, Italy, Greece, and Great Britain. I toured all of those countries, except I visited Switzerland, and decided to send Prissy and Missy to Spain. In that story, all of Prissy and Missy's adventures, I should add, they're written in sophisticated poetic verse with outstanding art, hand-drawn by a professional design studio. And all of Prissy and Missy's adventures, Senator Scavello, have a glossary in the back to further educate the young reader.
I know that my daughter invited you to her school because she's a reading specialist, and you went down to her school and talked to the students, right?
Yes, sir. And I certainly thank your daughter, Melissa, for that invitation. As a matter of fact, it took place during Dr. Seuss Week.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I have been referred to as the contemporary female Dr. Seuss by news commentator Della Cruz, New Jersey News 12, and that's quite a lovely compliment, and we had a fantastic time. The Adventures of Prissy and Missy were well received at your daughter's school. Absolutely, yes.
So I look like her brother, right? That's not bad. That's a compliment to me. But no, she looks like she's a teenager, doesn't she?
Both of your daughters are lovely. Yes, they are.
You met them both? I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. And if I might add, during the holidays, it was such a pleasure to see you again at the Saki's.
Oh, yes, that's right. You did.
Sushi.
You did.
Yes. And how apropos for their name to come up, the Trapasso family. Yeah. Lots of love to them. Whereas the book that you're holding now, my 11th manuscript, Senator Scavello, which will be published 3rd, The Adventures of Prissy and Missy Beyond Earth, Sky to Mars, perfect for the global science, technology, engineering, and math programs, STEM. I dare say there's nothing like this book in the whole world. all written in sophisticated poetic verse. We have images gleaned from the Hubble Space Telescope. Our design studio in India is chomping at the bit to get our 66 pages of original art for that work. There's a 400-word scientific glossary.
Wow.
And Prissy and Missy are chaperoned into the galaxy by Captain Meraki and Robot Dasaki.
Robot Dasaki.
Yes, and Robot Dasaki was programmed to do all sorts of things, but loved eating sushi and practicing karate.
Wow. I'm looking forward to it. So this is number 3, and you're planning. How are you doing? How could somebody, let's say for example, wanted to get the set? Where could they go to buy the book?
Thank you for asking. I'd like for you to know that The Adventures of Prissy and Missy are certainly available when many members of our community see me out and about. They've seen me at ShopRite. I'd like to give lots of thanks to ShopRite grocery stores, including the Sumas family, Kinsley family, and the Kalalilo family. There are more than 300 ShopRite franchises, and I've had the privilege to be present at 3 family-owned ShopRites throughout the region. Also, McDonald's Corporation, Mrs. Z and McDonald's,
wow.
yes, they also enjoy hosting us for community learning and literacy events. I'd also like to thank Big Wheel, Family Fun Entertainment.
I heard you were down there at Big Wheel. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've been to Compton's. The Mountain Creek Grill has been hosting community learning and literacy events on Friday evenings, and Dasaki's has been hosting us for nearly 2 years now on Saturday nights. But also, we know that the internet is very powerful.
Sure.
And The Adventures of Prissy and Missy are available. They have their own website, prissyandmissy.com. They're also available at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. And Senator Scavello, one of the most exciting things that has happened for 2017 is that The Adventures of Prissy and Missy were approved by the New York City Department of Education for curriculum study.
Wow. Wow. High five.
High five.
Very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good. My gosh.
And
Yeah.
so what that means is they're a bit under the radar now, being distributed by BookSource, a premier children's book distributor. But Prissy and Missy have to become super famous now in the 5 boroughs of Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens,
That's
and
phenomenal.
Staten Island. Yes, and it's just going to be really fantastic. And we also hope to brand Prissy and Missy like Disney has branded Elsa and Anna. Yes, we hope to have Christmas couture clothing for girls, all kinds of merchandise branded with Prissy and Missy, but their foundation is children's literature of excellence.
Wow. Very impressive, Karen. Very impressive. I just want to wish you the very best. And so we have the information. We're going to have that on the screen where they can go to buy, and maybe one of these Saturday nights they'll catch you at the Sake, and
Yes,
you can sign the book.
I would love that.
That's very good. I wish you the very best, you know. We're going to do it again. When this book comes out, just let me know. Okay?
Senator Scavello, thank you. And please, if you don't mind, if I may add, sir, you are well loved. You serve your constituents in such a marvelous way. You are very honorable and reputable, and I just thank you for the privilege of being with you again today. Thank you, sir.
And you're a special person as well. I just want you to know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've been watching Legislative Report. I'm State Senator Mario Scavello of the 40th Senate District. If you have any questions about today's show, the information will be on in a moment. And see you next time on Legislative Report.